You worked with a few times with Jim Carrey, haven't you? I love Phillip
Yeah,
Morris. Uh,
yeah. First time was Ace Ventura,
oh, nice picture.
and yeah, and then the Truman Show, and then Philip Morris. And Jim is a wonderful fucking man. I know every actor is supposed to say that about every actor, and I'm telling you that this guy is so beautiful. So, we knew who he was from In Living Color, and I was a reporter who was supposed to cajole him about not knowing where Snowflake was. Snowflake being the dome. Come on, Roger, where's Snowflake? We need a shot of him for the evening. And Jim comes out. What do you know about the dolphin? Do you have the dolphin fin? Do you and he was just this crazy guy, and it was the first time I couldn't look anybody in the eye. He fucked me up. I mean, seriously, he was so unbelievably immersed into this thing. His veins were popping out. His head had like, I don't know. I was mesmerized. I wasn't going to crack up. I was just in awe of how immersed he was. So I had to look above his eyes at his forehead to maintain, whatever the
Oh wow.
integrity was, right? So then with I Love You, with the Truman Show, I was a security guard that he decides at some point, wow, I'm going to something's up and I'm going to shoot into this building without anyone knowing it. And there's two security guards that catch him and try to throw him out. So he recognizes me from Ace Ventura. And we see each other and he's like, hey, the reporter? Yeah. How you doing, man? Oh, he goes, I'm doing great. I'm really blessed. I go, you fucking sure are. $20 million for a movie? He goes, well, I'm lucky, man. And he goes, so, I said, I'm going to try to throw you out. He goes, well, I'm telling you, I'm pretty strong. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have to work for it. I go, oh, that's cool. No problem. So just before lunch, him and Peter Weir, the director, were deciding what the next setup was going to be. And it was going to be Jim deciding that he's going to come out in the street, in the middle of the street where this bus is going down the main thoroughfare. And he's going to stop the bus and he's going to alter his thing. So they have the discussion and I'm sitting by myself at a table, maybe, I don't know, 100 yards away watching by accident. And Peter Weir leaves. And then Jim decides he's going to do some practices. So he walks across the street and he does a furtive look left and right. And then he runs in a Johnny Cleese kind of way. Nah, he just wasn't happy with that. And then he tried another version of it. And he wasn't happy with that. This whole process went on for about 10 minutes. And then finally, he just stopped, put his arms out like this, and turned around and like stopped everything and then bolted into there. And then he decided that's what he liked. And I went, wow, I got to see the whole process. And when he came out of the building, he saw me again. And I said, hey man, I've got, my kids are big fans and my nephews. And do you mind could you sign my call sheet so I could give it to one of them as a Christmas present? And he said, yeah, I normally don't want to do that kind of stuff, but if you keep it, low, I'll sign this one and another one for your kids. So it was great. Truman Show. I said, hey man, if you had anything to do with this, he goes, no, I didn't. So on the Truman Show, I said, Jim, I'm in this position where I'm not really happy with where I'm at in life, and maybe I need a bigger rep. And I was kind of asking him, maybe you could possibly tell me you talk to whatever, clandestine way. And I had done that also with on Matt Modine on a movie. And Matt was, I could do, man. Go, oh yeah, bro. You know what you need to do? You need to put on a play in your garage for free every night. And all the people in the neighborhood will come by and watch it. And then eventually the news will catch it and helicopters will be over and an agent will. Yeah, you're about as wacky as fucking Jeff Goldblum. God bless you. We all both, I know I'm on public there. So Jim says, I'm going to tell you, you're exactly where you need to be right now. You are in an A-list movie. You have, it was up to somebody else if they wanted, and they went with you, and you're holding your own. You're doing a fucking kick-ass job, and just believe in what needs to be. And he goes, not in a Jesus kind of way, but in a spiritual way. You got to ask the universe for you. And he said, and he told me the story. It's a pretty famous story. That one time when he was before in Living Color, he was sitting on his van in the mountains looking over Mulholland or something, and he said to the universe, "I'm going to be the most successful comedian in the United States, and I'm going to make $20 million in a movie one day." And his father was his hero. His father was way more talented than he was, according to Jim. So he said he ended up getting Dumb and Dumber, I think, and that was the 20 million movie, or maybe it was the Truman Show. I think it was Dumb and Dumber. But he said, so I just asked for it, and it came to me, and I carried a check that I wrote to myself for $20 million in my wallet. Period. And just for my dad, after I can't remember which, I got Dumb and Dumber and I made 20 million, and I put the check in my dad's casket. Just believe in the universe, bro. It's all gonna be how it's gonna be. And that was that. And then I told my kids, I'm gonna work with your favorite actor. Who's your favorite actor? Jim Carrey. I mean, you, Dad, but Jim Carrey. Because I wanted to put him in a headlock. It made sense in this one scene. Whatever. And I did this great scene where he was gay and I didn't know he was gay, and I was this sex astronaut and I was very butch. We were standing over this balcony and I was looking at a satellite and I was teary-eyed because I never did get to go up to NASA, real political place. It's just satellite reaching out to touch the hand of God. But he catches me, right? And so I feel embarrassed. But he he's got a whole nother to go out, and he comes to see me, and the prop guy goes, what do you want? What kind of prop do you want? I said, well, I think I'd have a bourbon and rocks glass. Jim, what do you want? Jim goes, I'd have a flute, champagne. Cool. So they bring it to us. We're standing on the balcony, and I'm it's a one-up show for me. I found out by working with A-list guys that sometimes they don't even like each other, but they need to steal that edit. They need to steal the coverage. It's a competition of sorts. And if you saw Tropic Thunder, it's a perfect example of who was in it.
Ben Stiller and
Robert Downey Jr.
Both of them in that scene where he could cry at will, and he just had it all, and Stiller was trying very hard not to, to compete with him. So I've seen it like that. So I wanted to do a similar deal. So I decided that I was going to, well, come on, let's go back inside and see the little lady. I was going to slap him. I was going to put him in a headlock, but he's too tall, and that was a little over the top. So I slapped him on the ass like a sports thing. And he wasn't expecting it. And in character, he went, whoo! And he dropped his glass, and his glass fell 2 stories and shattered all over the floor. We went back to look at the playback, well, because he wanted to. It wasn't my insistence. And he went, and I could see he was like, oh, you fucker, you got me, because we're going to do another one. I said, okay, cool. So I could justify it, right? So I slapped him on the ass again. He didn't drop the flute this time, went back to look at the display, and he's like, yeah, we're going to do another one. And I can see a really determined look on his face. I don't know. I'm interpreting this. Maybe it's incorrect, but that's how I interpret it. So now I slap him on the ass, and he turns around and slaps me across the face. And I'm not expecting it. And now I go, fuck. He shorted me out, just like I might have shorted him out. So we go back to look at the playback, and they said, hey, okay, well, we got to go because we're losing light, and the Jenny and the cherry picker, what is it? The Condor is losing hydraulics. And I said, I need one more. So he goes, okay, all right, we'll do one more. So after he slapped me, I hugged him, and we walked in, and we walked off the shot. So the justification from both of our points of view is me as this person who's this very macho guy, just slaps him on the ass, and him slapping me, to me, I justify as, hey, but come on, man, smarten up, don't cry, snap out of it. And I'm like, oh, thank you, and I hug him. His justification is, how dare you touch my ass? Who do you think you are? And he slaps me like a woman would, and it was wonderful. And it's a wonderful, wonderful story, and a story that I know that he'll remember and that I'll remember. So my dad says to me, how was work last night? I was in New Orleans. I said, oh, it's fantastic. He goes, well, what do you want to talk about it? I said, I just sparred with Bruce Lee and tied him because we were both totally locked in. And right after that scene is when I'd asked him, and he told me, ask the universe. Another time was with Duvall in We Own the Night, and there was like last 3 cameras on Robert, and it was this crazy where James kept saying, all right, now this time you're drunk. I want you to do it as drunk as you can. Okay, now this time I want you to do it where you're like just almost touching him, and I want your breath to be in his ear and your lips almost to touch his. And this time I went, and he went like all night, man. It went on and on and on. And he was going to do this patchwork thing, and every time I delivered what it was. And I think, I'm guessing, but between Tony Masante was there too. He's dead now, God bless him. He was the original Tony Rome back in the day. It was Joaquin and Duvall, and I think Joaquin saw everything that I brought, and I think he had some respect for him. I'm guessing he did. He probably doesn't give a shit about me. He's a great guy, but whatever. I like to believe, as actor man, that I did something nice and impressive or whatever. But who knows? I probably just did my job or whatever. So that day when my dad asked me, I said I just sparred with Muhammad Ali. Because whatever Duvall gave me, I rolled with. Whatever I gave him, he rolled with. And it was a wonderful dance. And that's what it is. That's what 90% of it is. Far too often, there's no dance at all. None. You just do it. And so people who don't have experience, you got to lock on, you got to ride each other. And that's what I like about it.